Dear friend, there are encounters in life that are not merely fortunate meetings between two people, but pivotal moments that transform an entire era. Today's story recounts one such moment, when the Buddha, having attained enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree, chose to leave the forest to share the insight he had discovered. At dawn, as the first rays of light filtered through the leaves of the Uruvela forest, a new day began, with hope and serenity. The atmosphere was still, filled only with birdsong, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the soft glow of sunlight trickling through the branches. Amidst that tranquil scene, a monk walked slowly and mindfully, each step in sync with his breath. It was none other than Siddhartha, the man who had spent a sacred night beneath the Bodhi tree and come to understand the nature of suffering and the path to liberation for all beings. Carrying nothing but a simple robe, a small alms bowl, and a peaceful heart, the Buddha stepped out of the forest, heading toward the village of Uruvela. His face radiated light, no longer bearing the marks of 6 years of asceticism, but instead full of life, peace, and a gentle smile. His gait resembled a calm stream, slow yet steady, emanating a serene energy that seemed to calm everything around him. The villagers of Uruvela still remembered the frail, tangled-haired ascetic from years past. They never expected that today they would encounter a monk so vibrant, with clear eyes and a presence that exuded tranquility. Wherever he passed, people paused to watch, drawn to him by a quiet force, something they could not name, a gentle pull, an inner glow. Some were curious, others surprised, and some simply felt a warmth rise within, though they couldn't explain why. Among them was an old man who had once known Siddhartha. Unable to hold back his wonder, he approached the monk and respectfully asked, "Venerable sir, who is your teacher? Who has taught you what you now practice?" The Buddha stopped, turned, and looked at the elder. His eyes were kind and deep, as if embracing the old man's soul. He answered in a calm, steady voice, "I have no teacher. I have realized the path through my own practice and deep looking." That sentence, spoken in the stillness of morning, carried no arrogance, no pride. It was a simple truth, expressed from a heart steeped in compassion and wisdom. After 6 years of asceticism, relentless searching, learning from many masters, and testing countless spiritual methods, Siddhartha had come to realize that the path to liberation did not lie in extremes or rigid forms. True freedom lay in stopping, in looking deeply into oneself, in accepting and loving life just as it is. This story prompts us to reflect: how many times in our lives do we restlessly search for a teacher outside ourselves, a miracle, a unique path, forgetting that the seeds of mindfulness and peace are already within our own hearts? We forget that just by pausing and listening to ourselves, we can already touch that light. The people of Uruvela, though they may not have fully understood the meaning of the Buddha's words, could still feel something extraordinary in his presence. He didn't preach, he didn't give advice, he simply was there, fully present, with mindfulness and compassion, and that presence alone was the most profound teaching. Sometimes the deepest truths are not in what is spoken, but in the quiet energy of awareness and loving kindness. A young mother passing by with her child stopped and looked. The child suddenly fell silent, his wide eyes following each of the Buddha's gentle steps. A potter, carrying goods to the market, also froze in place, overtaken by a strange feeling, as if he had just encountered a long-lost beloved. The old man, after hearing the Buddha's answer, stood still for a long moment, then felt a subtle shift within, a soft comfort, as if a long-held wound was being gently soothed. After that brief yet profound encounter, the Buddha continued on his journey. He left Uruvela and headed toward the deer park in Sarnath, where his 5 former companions, the 5 ascetics, were practicing. These were the friends who had walked beside him through 6 years of hardship, sharing all manner of struggle, but who had turned away when Siddhartha accepted Sujata's bowl of milk rice, believing he had betrayed their ideals by giving up austerity. Now, with a vast and boundless compassion, the Buddha felt no resentment, no anger. He understood that everyone is simply seeking truth in their own way. He only wished to share the light he had just discovered, knowing that when his 5 former companions touched this insight, they too would be liberated as he was. On his journey, memories from the past 6 years returned. The freezing nights when his body trembled in the forest, the days he survived on just 1 or 2 sesame seeds, the moments of despair when no way out seemed possible. But now all of that was the past. The Buddha looked back without self-blame or regret. Those days, the falls, the rising again, had forged in him deep resilience, perseverance, and profound understanding of the path to liberation. The encounter with the 5 ascetics, the group led by Kondana, would become a historic milestone. The very first turning of the Dharma wheel. The first time the teachings of awakening were transmitted from one person to another. Yet above all, it was the Buddha's serene, present, and peaceful being that served as inspiration, the light that helped others find their way home to themselves. Dear friend, perhaps each of us has walked lonely steps in search of meaning in life. We look for something extraordinary, an ultimate teacher, a supreme truth. But just like the Buddha, we come to realize that the most wondrous things lie right within each breath, each step, each simple moment of daily life. When we live mindfully, even our smallest actions, a smile, a glance, the way we listen, the way we hold a flower or a drop of water, can become Dharma talks, seeds of transformation for others. We do not need to speak loudly or strive to appear special or chase after any mold. Simply being present, living with compassion and wisdom, is already a gentle, warm light for those around us. Think back. How many times have we been touched by a look of understanding, a warm hand, or a soft question without any explanations? These are the moments when we were healed, encouraged, trusted enough to move forward, and perhaps, without realizing it, we have also planted such seeds in others, just by living fully and being truly present. The Buddha's story beneath the Bodhi tree then, on his path back to the village, and finally in his reunion with his 5 former friends, is not just the tale of a distant, enlightened one. It is also our story, the story of those who are learning each day to return to themselves, to look deeply, to love, and to let go. If ever you feel lost or weary in life, remember, you are not alone. Within each of us lies a seed of mindfulness, a source of inner peace. Don't rush to look outside. Don't chase after every enticing call. Just pause. Listen to yourself. Take care of your breath, your steps, your heart. Then you will realize all the answers have already been within you. Perhaps today you are the one searching for the light, but perhaps in some quiet moment you will be the light for someone else, a friend in sorrow, a family member in worry, or even a stranger who just needs a smile or a glance. The mindfulness and compassion you cultivate today will gently ripple outward, touching hearts, even if you never speak a word. Trust in the power of presence. Believe that even if just one person lives mindfully, the world already suffers a little less. Each of us can help ease the burdens of life simply by being true to ourselves, loving wholeheartedly, and dwelling fully in each present moment. Thank you for listening to this story, to these profound teachings from an awakened being. If you feel even a little calmer, a little more at peace, please share that with those around you. Who knows, a single word of encouragement, a warm glance, or a small flower might be enough to light the flame of hope for someone in need. See you again in the next chapter of this journey of awakening, where the path becomes clearer, where your footsteps become streams of peace flowing through the forests of life. And there you will see, each day is a miracle. Each moment of presence is a Dharma teaching. And you, yes you, are the one lighting that lamp for yourself and for many others. Wishing you peace, mindfulness, and boundless love.